That was that story. In case you were wondering. We're home for the holidays.
The holidays we're home for.
No, we're home for the holidays.
The holidays we're home for. Commutable,
Refutable,
disputable,
delusional.
no matter what, we know that you'll be watching.
Home for the holidays,
wherever you are.
Katie Dahl.
Yay!
It's interesting when you have a chance to repeat something, multiple times within a given broadcast. You feel like, oh, I am now starting to know this.
Yes, I know I've achieved. Well, and don't you think it's true for us? Like all this summer, I felt that so much with those Jeff and Katie shows. Like I felt like we would do those songs, we do our 3 songs or whatever, we practice them, and I thought, if we could do these like 3 more times,
I know
we would be so much better.
Right? Right?
Or at Nerd Night, I was like, oh, we would have been, by a week in, we would have had this down cold,
exactly,
so
exactly.
But you only need one-offs.
One-offs, exactly. You need previews for these things, and they don't exist.
Yeah.
So here we are. We have another jam-packed half hour ahead of us.
I would say this next guest is the Justin Bieber of Memphis.
Segue.
I hope whoever's keeping track of my segues has that one written down, because that was a pretty good one. You know him. You love him. Let's say hi to Eric Lewis.
Hello.
Eric,
look at you.
Here I am.
How are you?
Buford, Georgia.
Now,
I'm
what'd you
good.
say?
He's in Buford, Georgia right
Buford,
now.
Georgia.
Buford, Georgia. Yeah.
Yes.
We were talking during soundcheck to Eric, and you are actually performing a live show down there.
I am. It's the first one, and I couldn't tell you how long.
Right.
It's kind of weird, actually.
Yeah, no doubt. Right.
And I'm sure you guys can relate to this, being performers, that you haven't done it in a while, so you're kind of out of shape for it.
We've been in shape. We've been so in shape.
I have to say, like early in the pandemic, Rich and I were watching The Last Dance, the documentary about the Chicago Bulls, those championship runs, and they were talking about when Michael Jordan switched to baseball from basketball temporarily, and Michael Jordan was like, had such a hard time coming back to basketball because he's like, I'm not in my basketball body, I'm in my baseball body. Sure. And I was like, that is so hilarious. Like, you can do anything. You're like one of the most physically able people in the universe, right? But it's like still you got to have a certain kind of body,
right?
So now,
the other thing about baseball versus basketball, there are a lot of baseball players who can play who could not play basketball.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Like golf.
I mean, like me, I'm a really, really good badminton player, but I can't play football.
Is that right?
No, it's not true. I mean, it's true I can't play football.
Can you play football, Eric? We're sorry.
It's okay. I'm working on 4.5 hours of sleep. So
there you go.
I'm happy to.
You can take a nap during any portion of this, and we will not be offended.
If we want to take a little bit of the heat off Eric, we could invite our other guest into the studio too.
Oh, is there somebody else?
There's somebody else.
Oh, you're
His
full of
name
surprises.
Rhymes with Mock Lighty. You know him, you love him. Say hello to Doc Heide.
No, that's Mock Lighty.
Hello.
Mock Lighty. Hello.
That truly is Mock Lighty. Hi, Mock Lighty. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you.
Tell everybody where you are.
I am in another room of the Creative Center. So
yes.
Somewhere we are in the same building together, although socially distanced.
Yes.
Now, what's interesting about this, of course, we just said that Eric Lewis is in Buford, Georgia.
That's correct.
But
yes.
Eric Lewis was one of the inaugural performers in the Gould Theater last year for Home for the Holidays, right? It was Eric and Katie and Rich who did that show last year. However, Eric, you appeared in Home for the Holidays long before 2019. Do you remember the first year you were in the show?
I'd have to look at a calendar, but I believe Chris Irwin and I did a show, just the two of us.
I think you might have.
I think that was the first one I did.
And then
or did I do one with Doc first? I can't remember.
Don't ask me. I wasn't there.
Don't tell me. I don't know.
Doc, do you remember?
I know that Eric and I did one together, and then we invited Holly in for like half the show.
Right.
That might have been 2009, but I'm not positive, frankly.
Right. So some of those years, and the whole point of this is, of course, that the two of you are going to appear multiple times tonight in December to Remember. I don't know
Really?
if you know
Cool.
this.
Wow.
From
I guess we'll have to
Surprise!
archive footage from those
Yes,
shows.
exactly.
No, you're doing
Awesome.
it live, aren't you? Don't you got that on your schedule?
No, it's really it's terrific. It's wonderful to see you both, and those shows were unbelievably charming and funny, and also beautifully played. So we have a lot to look forward to with the two of you being in December to Remember.
Wonderful.
Well, and the other thing, the reason that we've gathered you here today, Eric and Doc, is because not only are you going to be in that show tonight, but you are also going to be a big part of our upcoming winter season.
Yeah, our first
Yes.
winter season ever.
Really?
Yes, really.
Who knew?
Going to be 0.125. You're going to each be 1/8 of the season, because you're each going to. We have 8 shows in that season, and you're each going to do a concert. So they're not going to be together for the concert, but we thought you appear to like each other, so we thought it'd be fun to have you on here to chat together.
Nobody knows about the ongoing feud between the two of them, so keep it.
Yes, right. We won't, they do a good job of hiding it on the StreamYard. There's a lot you can hide behind the screen. So, Eric Lewis, you are going to be broadcasting probably live from Memphis, Tennessee, right? Which is your home turf.
Yes. And either from probably my house or my office, I haven't figured out.
Eric?
Huh?
Which? How will the
Which?
paparazzi find you if you're not going to be clear about this point in advance?
Well, we'll figure it out before then.
No,
Don't
we're
worry.
gonna show a clip of you doing something coming up here shortly, right?
Yes,
And that was I got to see a little preview of it. That was in a church, wasn't it?
it was. There's a church in Collierville, just east of Memphis, that I play at every Sunday.
Wow.
For their bluegrass mass at
Oh, that's
5:15, and it's
Wow.
all instrumental.
Oh,
And they were
in Latin.
gracious, huh?
In Latin.
In Latin, yes. But they were gracious enough to let me use the space one day. I guess it was early November or October. No, it had to be October. But I did a show for Midsummer's Music that was all virtual. And I hosted that live, but they wanted all the performances recorded in advance. So,
Oh, cool.
yeah, so that was one that I recorded for that. And
I
I
see.
couldn't really get, adequate equipment to play live for you today. So this was what I submitted, and I hope you guys will enjoy it. So,
Great, let's watch.
Yeah, let's
watch
take
it.
let's take a listen, shall we?
Close things out with a little fiddle tune improv medley of a sort with a song of Fred Alley's called I Will Arise. Thanks again, and I'm Eric Lewis. Appreciate it.
Lay my body down. Do not look for me behind the
silent eyes. Death is your sting, I will arise. On wings I will arise, don't look for me below. Hell, it has no purchase in the places that I go. Do not look for me, I pour the grand surprise. Death is your sting, I will arise. Well, I met a fallen angel with her halo hanging low, dancing with the devil, left her nowhere else to go. You can learn to fly again, do not believe the lies. Spread your golden wings, you will arise. Soul to hell. Brimstone, bloody fire was the story he would tell. Saw him as a jailer when I looked him in the eyes. The judge has set me free, I will arise. On wings I will arise, don't look for me below. Hell, it has no purchase in the places that I go. Do not look for me, I pull the grand surprise. Death is your sting, I will arise. Yeah, death is your sting, I will arise. Death is your sting, I will arise.
Yay!
That was fantastic.
So great.
So
Thank you.
I have a question for you.
Sure.
I know that song. Obviously, I know that song. I've sung that song with you. on
Yes, you
stage.
have.
Yes. So the intro to it,
Right.
Was that something that you wrote yourself based off of the song?
Well, that's a funny story. The first thing I just kind of threw on there was a fiddle tune called Red Haired Boy.
Oh, I see.
And then there's a little snippet that just before the song where I'm playing F, C, and G pattern over and over. That was a little tune that actually Doc and Fred and I were out in California working up something for the summer. And I had just come up with that. And anyway, so it was kind of inspired by being around Fred.
I see.
And I recorded it later, just that little piece of a repetitive thing with Andy Ratliff called Going to Aurora, which was kind of, paying homage to Fred, that song Aurora that he had. So anyway, that was the inspiration for that. So I've just grown to tack that onto the front end of that song whenever I perform it anymore.
That's really cool.
So
and Eric, you said that you did that for Midsummer Music?
I did.
The Door County Midsummer
yes,
Music. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, thank
Very
you.
cool.
I was supposed to do a concert for them this summer, but obviously that didn't happen. So
Right.
So anyway,
You were able to do it virtually.
yes, I was.
Yeah.
So
that's good.
So that would be an example of what you might perform in your concert on January 23rd.
Absolutely, sure.
Fantastic.
And I might even wear that suit.
Oh, wow. Wouldn't that be exciting? But we don't know where yet.
Don't
so
make any promises you can't keep, Eric Lewis.
So before we get to talk to a little bit more to Doc, I just wanted to let everybody know that the winter season pass is something that you can buy in the Rekiende Market just for today and tomorrow. That's the whole. After that, the winter season pass will cease to be available as a full entity.
Yeah.
And it's cool. This way, if you buy this winter season pass, which is item number 101 on the Rekiende Market, it will give you it'll allow you to purchase all 8 shows in one fell swoop. It's $150, I believe, or $140.
$140 something maybe, yeah.
And you also get a bonus of our show that we did in May, Decades of Delight.
Oh, right.
Which is a great plus of buying the winter pass. But we do also want to let you know that starting on Tuesday, the 17th, each of the shows individually will be available for purchase. And in order to make sure that everyone is able to watch the shows who would want to, we've moved to a pay-what-you-choose tiered pricing system for this winter season. So you can choose to buy a ticket for everyone in your household, but if that ticket price for you is $10, that makes sense. And if that ticket price for you is $50, that makes sense too. You have the option to do that on the portal when you sign up. So for now, today and tomorrow, you buy them on that thing, on that green banner that's right there. You put that in there, hfth2020.givesmart.com. You buy the season pass. It's all taken care of. You know you've done it. You get the extra show. It's awesome. But if you've missed that, no problem. Starting Tuesday, you can buy them individually. So Doc Heide, you are doing a show on April 17th, right?
That's right. I am.
Yeah. And where do you think you're going to do yours from?
I'm hoping to do it from this building, and I'm hoping I won't need to wear a mask.
Yes. Wouldn't that be a wonderful turn of events?
It really would be nice, yes. Uh-huh.
Yeah. And what sort of antics do you have in mind to treat us with on that show?
He doesn't know yet.
Yeah, it's 5 months away. So,
what do you usually do? What are your normal tricks?
Taxes.
Yeah, I think there'll be quite a few original songs, things I wrote, and also maybe a couple songs from the Heritage Ensemble era, which I dearly love. There were so many gorgeous folk songs that we learned back then, and many of our fans are not familiar with them, so I might do some of those. And, kind of a mix of serious stuff and some humorous stuff.
That's great. Mm-hmm. And we should mention, speaking of humor, that you can also on the Rekinda Market, you can buy April Fool's comedy, curbside comedy from Doc Heide for April 1st. So that's very exciting too. You can get a lot of entertainment from Doc Heide in April. Which will be good.
Yeah, April is his month.
April, it's the cruelest month and the dockiest.
It's the dockiest.
Yes.
The Freddiest dockiest.
Could I say something?
Yes.
Real quick? I've got some artwork in the Weekend Market.
Talk about that, believe me.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Tell them about it, Eric.
Well, when the whole pandemic came down and there was no live music or anything, I just needed a break from it anyway. It's I need to find something that I can do that I can reinvent myself a little bit and be creative, and it's non-competitive. So I started doing that.
We're just laughing at the J's on the banner, not at you. Continue. Non-competitive.
I see them there.
Yes. Continue.
No, I was really laughing about the idea of there being competitive painting that Eric Lewis was involved in.
Yes, it's a very serious sport. Didn't you know that?
Got to have your painting body in shape.
That the drawing that you did, Eric, is really cool. It's very cool.
Thank you.
And your promo of it was so amazing to me. I mean, you based it off of your own mandolin, obviously.
I did, and it's the only one that I did as a mandolin. I've done a few violins, and they've already sold, and I did a guitar, and that sold. But it's just kind of relaxing and a lot of fun to do. And I don't know if I'll do any more. If I get back to work, full time doing any music.
I bet you will. I have a feeling
eventually.
I think you're going to be hooked.
I think we should tell
people
that he never will, because this is their only chance to get an Eric Lewis art
This
piece.
is it. He's done.
The next 24 hours
He's done.
is
He's
your
going
only chance.
out of the competitive painting business.
It's
true. I'm announcing my retirement. So
yeah, from the bantamweight division.
Yeah, that's right.
Exactly.
Well, should we
But
take
anyway.
a listen to? I know we have an example of a Doc song too. Should we take a listen to?
What can you tell us about this, Doc?
Well, the person who's been with our troupe the longest is Craig Konowalski.
Yeah.
Literally 50 years this year. He was in the original, very first thing we ever did back in 1970.
Thanks you for reminding him.
He had asked me a few months ago if we could write a song together. And when we decided we were going to do this New Year's with Northern Sky show on New Year's Eve, I thought that would be the perfect opportunity for us to collaborate.
Oh.
So we're actually creating 2 videos for that event. And the one that we're going to show was just completed yesterday. Craig and I well, we were both in that show, Song of the Inland Seas, and there was a famous song in a sea shanty called The Bigler that describes the rigors of sea travel. So we thought we would adapt it to 2020 to talk about the rigors of surviving COVID-19.
I see.
So that's a parody of this famous sea shanty.
Well, so we should say then that this happens to be part of the virtual season as well, one of the 8, but it's really attached to the very first one that's going to be coming up in our season, which is on New Year's Eve, called New Year with Northern Sky.
Exactly.
Excellent. So shall we take a look at it?
Yeah, we can never take that risk.
Has anybody seen it yet?
Nobody except Chase, who edited it.
Oh boy, how exciting!
Fantastic.
All right, Neen, player.
Here we go, everybody.
All right.
Now, folks, if you will listen, we'll sing to you a song. It's all about the year that's passed and how it went so wrong. We hope that 2021 will free us from this curse, 'cause 2020 was the pits and it can't get no worse. The coronavirus brought us to our knees. We had to risk our lives to buy a chunk of cheddar cheese. We soon ran out of beer and booze, and so at cocktail time, we were substituting Robitussin with a twist of wine. Sanitizers just like gold, it's getting hard to find. And also toilet paper to tend to your behind. We pay $12 now to buy a box of wipes. With income almost ended, all we have to say is cripes. And we had to wear masks while our spirits sank. Many days it looked like we were set to rob a bank. Other times it seemed that we were dressed for Halloween, or we're ready if we're called upon to cut out someone's spleen. It seems we're in the Amazon with packages galore. It's looking like a jungle right outside the locked front door. You have to leave them outside for a day or two, they say. We hope it don't start raining or they'll all just float away. So now vamoose COVID, vanish from our heart. We're longing for the times we won't need to stand 6 feet apart. But the thing we know that will most truly satisfy is when we finally can return and go to Northern Sky.
Yay!
Well,
Thank you.
a song for the times. So there was one image in that was very puzzling to me. It was the cows on the porch. Do you know what that was about?
We couldn't figure out how to illustrate the flood, and Craig sent me that. Craig took all those photos, and I put them together into the video. And so we didn't want to flood his house for this video.
That was unfortunate that you didn't flood his house. But I love the cows on the porch. It was kind of mysterious.
They were good. It was, yes.
It was.
I thought, ooh, the packages disappeared and cows showed up. I was thinking the cows took the packages, the cows ate the packages. Something happened with the packages and the cows.
Well, that can happen,
I know.
It's Wisconsin,
It is Wisconsin.
Where I grew up in Pine Bluff, Wisconsin, there were farms all around us, and we lived on a hill in the convent behind the church.
Right.
And there were times when we would get a call from the neighbors and they'd say, the cows got out, and we'd go outside and we'd climb up on the monkey bars, which were on the playground of the school that was right next to our house, and we'd watch the cows just run around, and they'd come charging up the hill toward our house, farmers chasing cows around, trying to get them back in.
That's amazing.
It was great.
I mean, what I have noticed having a 4-year-old is that, that anything is possible. So, if you told him if you told him a cow might come and eat a package,
Yeah.
like that would be turned into a fear, because packages are very important in his world. Like they could always be for him, although heaven forbid they be an item of clothing or a book. Like that is the worst if they're those. But at any rate, a cow, a rogue cow coming to take the packages is totally, possible.
Guthrie?
That's what we call a coat break.
I didn't get that.
A cout break.
A cow outbreak. It's
Oh, a couch.
Couch
Yes.
break.
it's a little
I got it.
a little labored. Sorry about that.
You know one thing, you guys never have any fun on this show.
I know. We are suffering, I tell you. Eric Lewis, I was thinking of you this morning because Rich and I cannot find our sleigh bells, which I feel like came from you. I feel like they used to be yours, maybe, Eric. Or you used to be the keeper of the sleigh bells, no? You're just always the one who's shaking them when we have a giveaway
right.
at home for the holidays.
But they
Those
belong.
Are from Maine.
Those belong.
Yeah.
Well, they belong
own
to
them,
you
yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Who's us guys? Me and
Northern
Rich?
Sky.
Northern Sky.
I don't think they do.
Yeah,
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
maybe
I never
maybe
brought
they're
them.
here then.
they are.
Someone
Well, they
always
used to be in
handed
our
them to me.
storage room. Oh, David.
They were just always handed to
think-
me.
I think I
So-
used them recently, as a matter of
Oh,
fact.
well, this is turning out to be very funny. I sent Rich this morning. This morning, I woke up at 5.
There they are.
This
Dave,
is
Alex, see, they're in
amazing.
their own bag and everything.
Oh my gosh, these are not the ones I thought of. Thank
Oh,
you.
yeah, those
These
are the
not
Northern Sky ones.
But okay,
They've been
these are
used-
nice. Okay, this is hilarious. I sent Rich this morning. I woke up at 5 in the morning and I was like, I had a million things to do, and at 7 I had to be here at 8, and at 7:40 I was like, Rich, could you please make me coffee, make me a new pot of coffee, make me breakfast, and go find the sleigh bells? And he's
Oh.
like,
No, not doing it.
no, and tie my tie. He's a very patient man.
So,
Anyway.
Katie Dahl, you said, where are the sleigh bells? And they magically appeared. Can you aim a little higher next time, please?
Yeah, I will. I will. There's this movie called Elmo's Christmas Wish.
Elmo's?
where- Elmo's Christmas
Tickle
Wish.
as a tickle? Tickle
yeah,
me?
yeah, and
Uh-huh.
he gets not the saint, and he gets
Not Saint Elmo.
yeah, he gets he gets 3 wishes, and the first thing he wishes for is a glass of water, and all his friends are very upset with him.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
I would be too.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Jingle bells,
exactly.
for
And
heaven's
I'm sorry.
So, boys,
Yes.
Yes,
You still with us?
we are.
tell us what you will be up to in the new year, if you have any idea.
Go ahead, Doc.
Oh, well, I'll probably spend the whole time preparing for my concert on April 17th.
Yes, and learning your curbside jokes.
Exactly. Actually, I'm semi-retired from my job in California.
Right.
I'm still supervising a dozen doctoral dissertations, so
That doesn't sound like retirement, Doc.
I'm going to be doing that. And I'm also doing some recording of various things. I'm learning how to use GarageBand at home. And,
Are you really?
I love GarageBand.
do you really?
Yes, it's amazing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you can get a lot done in it.
Who taught
Yeah.
you, Eric?
Well, I owe Katie Dahl a lot because she has brought me into the 21st century.
Don't you mean
So
Katie
many
Deal?
No, I got it right this time. Yes,
We should
Katie.
say for our listening audience, again in sound check, Eric is, as we said, playing a live concert in Beaufort, Georgia. And believe it or not, the woman that he's playing with there is named Katie Deal.
Right. Katie Deal, not
Yeah.
Dahl,
Not Dahl.
Yeah.
but Deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's just too
Scares
similar.
me a little bit. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
And I feel for you, even though it's a different vowel.
Okay, so Doc, you're recording some things. Is it new things that you're?
Yeah. I've got a whole album worth of new stuff that I've never gotten around to put on paper record. And it seems like the pandemic is a good opportunity since I'm sitting around at home and I've got a new microphone. So I hope to be doing that. And just of course we just had a reading of Hell's Belgians, so we're continuing to tinker with that script. That'll be something I'm doing.
That's
And
a
again,
that's a
for
good
those paying attention, that's the
what-
prequel to Belgians in Heaven.
right.
Uh-huh.
Which
Yep.
you will which tonight, if you tune into a December to Remember, to me the most magical part of December to Remember when I watched the draft was there's footage in there from the 1994 original cast of Belgians in Heaven, and truly Rich is really tired of me talking to him during the shows, but like I was like, Rich, is there anything more magical than this? And I might have sworn actually. I felt it so powerfully. So I would just like to say, if you have not gotten your tickets to A December to Remember, which features a lot of Eric Lewis, a lot of Jeff Herbst, a lot of Katie Dahl, and a lot of Doc Heide, and also the 1994 cast of Belgians in Heaven, and some songs by Fred Alley, sung by Fred Alley, I would encourage you to go over and get that now.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, and also, again, you guys haven't seen it yet, but the two of you are very funny together in a number of clips. It's
Oh,
really,
yeah?
Oh, it's totally charming. Yeah. You have a running thing going about sheep in one of them.
Right.
I vaguely remember that.
It has to be indelibly imprinted after doing multiple performances of that thing. No doubt.
So Eric, what are you going to do in this new year, do you think?
Well, artistically, I've got session work here and there for people around town, but there's not a lot of live performing going on in Memphis other than the church service that I get to do on Sundays. But actually, you guys are the first to hear this, and this is like first in the world, so to speak, since we're live on the internet here. But this is kind of I'm just saying it out loud. So I got a job, actually. I start Tuesday. I'm going to be working for a company that makes high performance distributors for race cars, actually.
For heaven's sake.
Wow.
Yeah. They're out of Memphis. They're called Performance Distributors. They make ignition systems. They've been in business over 30 years, and I'm going to be doing office work for them. So,
Wow.
This is an obvious segue from competitive painting.
It is. Yeah.
Could I mention one other thing that seems relevant when you were asking what I'm doing? On January 11th, I'm going to be teaching a little course on self-compassion
Oh, right.
through Northern Skies. So
Awesome.
we want to make sure people know about that.
A course on self-compassion. You may recognize it from such hits as that.
Can you like I know it's a whole course, but can you like
You boil it down to 20 seconds or so.
can you boil it down to a sentence?
One sentence.
Yes.
Well, let's see. Self-compassion is an idea derived from Buddhist philosophy that has to do with treating oneself with kindness and recognizing that we are part of a common humanity, and also approaching our own problematic thoughts and feelings with a mindful attitude.
That was
Well
pretty
done.
good.
That
Yeah,
was
subordinate clauses and all. And that very rigorous.
Exactly.
sentence.
Exactly.
You know, I have to say, my mom told me, I was having a hard time a couple years ago, and my mom said that my mom's a therapist, and she'd been doing some work on self-compassion, and she recommended to me that when I was feeling really upset, that I said, this is so hard for me. You put your hand on your chest, and you really just say to yourself, I just like to acknowledge this is really hard for me. And
Right.
it has helped me so much, that small thing. So
Yes.
Really, is that like a mantra now?
yeah, this is so hard
that's
for me.
amazing. That's great.
I mean, it helps just to acknowledge, rather than getting so caught up in
Right.
why am I so upset, and I am more upset, just to acknowledge this. You know what? This is a challenging time.
I need that.
Yeah,
I need that.
yeah. I
Thank
know,
you
man.
for telling me that.
Yes.
No, I'm doing it right now.
You, but except for this is
so
very
hard
easy
for
for
me.
Jeff. This moment of being with me. But you should take the class, everybody. So class on self-compassion in the Rikian market.
Rikian
And
market.
we need to kind of wrap it up here. But I wanted to tell you some things that are coming up here today. So at 2:00, Jeff and I have another segment
us.
coming back.
Yeah.
Coming up. So,
Yeah.
but that's going to be kind of a special one.
Yeah.
At 2:00. That's in 20 minutes. So I hope that you can come back for this really special Jeff and Katie segment at 2. And then at 3, we're going to be back for another sort of round table like this with Bruce Kaplan and Claudia Russell, and then with Karen Mall and Will Taylor, both of those duos also have concerts in our winter season.
All too much,
Cool.
folks.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's a bounty of riches.
it sure is. And at 1:50, there's another Ernie weather report. So let's not forget that. So I think that's all I have to say to you out there in the world. But you, Eric and Doc, I just like to say that I love you both, and I miss you, and I wish that we got to, be in the same place. Doc, you are kind of in the same place, but not really. So
Right.
You're right down the hall, and yet.
Well, we feel the same, Katie
Yeah,
Dahl.
well,
And
Yes.
also Jeff Herbst. Mhm.
Yeah. And Eric, be safe down there in Georgia. Please give
Thank
our
you.
love to Sheila too.
I
yeah.
sure will.
Yeah,
And Doc,
Yeah.
yours to Jody.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I will.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well,
Well, thanks for having me on.
Thanks for
Our
having me.
pleasure,
Our
and we're
pleasure.
so looking
Really
forward
fun.
to your concerts coming
can't
up next
wait.
year.
Me
The
too.
winter season
January
pass.
23rd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good luck with your
April
new job
17th.
too, Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome. Bye
Yay.
now.
Okay,
All
bye.
right.
Bye.
Bye.